offer, I can take your plea and you will be done. If, however, you need some more time to think about it or you want to speak with an attorney, I am happy to pass your case for you to do that. If you do decide to enter a plea, you need to understand that you are giving up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you are guilty. And if for any reason you are in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation. At this time, if you can all stand and raise your right hand so I can go ahead and place you under oath. Do you swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, please be seated. For many of you, maybe not many, for some of you, the state may offer you a deferred prosecution agreement. A DPA is an agreement between you and the state, and if you successfully complete that agreement, the charges against you will be dismissed. If, however, you don't complete the agreement, you'll come back here and have a new arraignment. In a moment, I'm going to ask the state to call out a list of names for the people they are offering a DPA to. If they call your name, I'm going to ask you to stand and form a line by this deputy. The state will then give you the agreement for you to review. When I call your name later, if you wish to accept that agreement, you'll sign it, take a picture with your phone so you have a record of that, and return it to the state. Do you all understand? Yes? Okay. Are you ready with that list of names?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. If you could turn and face them so we can make sure they hear you.
Alan Bailey, Anderson Dillon, Justin Asher, Jonathan Avila, Brennan Bovender, Corey Bradford, Colby Brookins,
TJ,
Ashanta
can you
Cooper,
keep these so if someone comes up and tells me they can't get a job?
Brandon Gary's, Braden Gary,
Angie, what are my dates?
Octavia Hoffman, Robert Johnson, Jessica Norwood,
3 and 3 17.
Helen Page,
He's calling me over
Jessica Norwood, Antoine Payton, Keith Raines,
Priscilla, hold on one second. If your phone is on, please silence it. There is an administrative order that requires me to take that phone if it disrupts court. I don't want to take your phones, so please put them on silent.
Silencio tu teléfono.
Go ahead, Ms. Rodriguez.
Andrea Rawls, Stephen Sherman, James Siler Lewis, Grant Thorpe, Nisa Warren, Jericho Williams,
Miss Yessie, Mr. Maddox, can you approach? TJ. course. Okay.
Said, in any case, you know you're continuing, and we'll just go ahead and call it up so we can. For a minute. So that was easy. Yeah.
Mine was very Italian before. Dichera? Yeah. Secret society. Mr. Gilbert, you want me to go ahead and call your case?
Sure.
I'm assuming we're so packed because of the snow day. This was when everybody was passed to, right?
All the 121 cases.
Well, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I'm Michael Gilbert on behalf of Joshua Riggs in 25 TR 710. His father, Jason Riggs, is in the audience. He was cited for going 102 miles an hour on a 65.
Oh,
Mr. Riggs would like to plead no contest as cited this morning. I just would like to tell the court a little more about him before pass judgment.
okay. Before you do that, Mr. Riggs, you were under oath earlier, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This is Dylan Riggins, you said?
It's a Joshua Riggs.
Oh, there you go, Josh. Okay, yes.
So Mr. Riggs is a senior at Collegiate High School. In May, he'll graduate from high school and also with an AA degree. His high school GPA is above a 4.0 weighted. His college GPA is a 3.5. He's been employed at Publix since he was 15, and he plans to join the Air Force. And he's already taken the tests, and he appears to qualify for any job that he applies for.
Okay,
He recognizes the seriousness of what he did and the wrongness of what he did. He's not quibbling about the speed or challenging the officer's determination. We just ask that in light of his exemplary behavior and other important aspects of his life and the fact he has no prior infractions, that adjudication be withheld.
this is your first traffic ticket?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there a reason you were going that fast? And be honest with me.
No.
Okay, what kind of car are you driving?
It's a Honda.
You had a Honda to 100?
Hyundai. But yes, ma'am.
I'm kind of more impressed that you got the Hyundai over, if I'm being honest. Mr. Riggs, I certainly don't want you to start your adult career with a ticket like this. So what I'm gonna do is order you to complete the basic driver improvement course. It's a 4-hour course available online. If you successfully complete that in the next 30 days, I will dismiss this ticket against you. But I only do that once, and really only if you're still in high school. So please take good advantage of this opportunity and don't come here.
Thank you.
Save that for when you're in the Air Force and find the plates.
Thank you.
All right. So just basic driver in the next 30 days. You have to provide a certificate of that to the clerk, and then they'll let you know you passed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have this morning.
Thank you. Is Nicholas Robles here? Nicholas Robles? I'm going to go through my TR cases right now because they don't involve the attorneys. Hi, Mr. Robles. So you're also with us today for speeding more than 30 over. Is this your first ticket?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the fine is $353. If you wish to accept responsibility today, I'd give you 90 days to pay that. Because it's not your first ticket, I would have to put the points on your license.
Okay.
The other option is to set it for a hearing where the officer has to come in and prove that you were speeding, and we do those hearings via Zoom.
I'll just take the ticket.
Okay, tell me your name and date of birth.
Nicholas Robles, 11805.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Robles, you're with it, or you've accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay the fine of $353. The deputy will give you a pay slip, so you will have all that in writing. Okay? TJ, can you read the baby? That's the baby.
Thank you.
Joseph Tizio? You're good. Yes, thank you. Good morning, sir. Mr. Tizio, you're also with us today for the civil infraction of speeding more than 30 over. Is this your first ticket?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you wish to accept responsibility today, I would withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. Or we can set it for a hearing. We do those via Zoom, and the officer has to come in and prove that it was you who was speeding.
I accept the charges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me your name and date of birth.
Joseph Tizio, March 17th, 1994.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Tizio, you have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay the fine of $353. The deputy will hand you a pay slip, so you'll have that in writing.
Cool. Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Payton, Antoine Payton. Mr. Payton, I understand that you have a deferred prosecution agreement.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have time to go over that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to accept it?
Yes.
Okay. Have you signed it?
I ain't got it.
Sign that and make sure you take a picture because that's the only record you'll have of it. And then you can return it to the state and you're good to go.
Okay.
No. I'm going to try to go through and pull my TRs.
All right.
Go ahead and give that to the state. You're good to go. Isaac Calbo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Isaac, you're also with us today for speeding more than 30 over. If you wish to accept responsibility, is this your first ticket?
It is.
I would withhold the points, $353 due in 90 days. If you want to do a hearing, the officer does have to come in and prove it was you who was speeding, and we do those via Zoom.
No, that's fine.
Okay? Tell me your name and date of birth.
Isaac Calbo. Sorry, Isaac Calbo. I thought they were talking to me. Isaac Calbo.
Hey, I do need you guys to hold it down in the audience because we can't hear up here. Isaac, what's your date of birth?
01/24/1993.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Sir, you have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points for you and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. Deputy will hand you a pay slip, so you do have all that in writing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Zachary Kurtzinger. Good morning, sir. You're also with us today for speeding more than 30 over. Do you have any other tickets, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the fine is $353. I would adjudicate you guilty, which will put some points on your license. But I'd give you 90 days to pay it. The other option is to set it for a hearing. The officer must come in and prove that it was you who was speeding, and we do those via Zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
What would you prefer?
To the second option?
You want to set it for a hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I am going to give you a date, and then the clerk will email you with the specific time. But they're always in the mornings between 9 and 11. Would he be a mine or Schleicher's? Do you have his infraction date?
Looks like April 10th at 9.
So April 10th at 9 a.m. will be your Zoom hearing. Do me a favor, before you leave, go to the clerk's office at the end of the hall. Make sure they have a good email for you, and they'll email you that Zoom link and all that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Ms. Rodriguez, you ready for me? I can keep going with my TRs, if not. Kwame Jones. Mr. Jones will be followed by Robert King. How are you, Mr. Jones? So you're with us today for speeding. Is this your first ticket?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still in school, Mr. Jones?
No.
Okay. If you wish to accept responsibility today, I would withhold the points, give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost, or we can set it for a hearing and the officer has to come in and prove it was you who was speeding.
I'll do the first one.
Okay, tell me your name and date of birth.
Kwame Jones, April 23rd, 2005.
There you go. Tell me, are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Mr. Jones, you have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. Deputy's going to give you a pay slip, so it's all in writing. Thank you. Mr. King, Robert King. Tamia Jones. Good morning. So you're also with us for speeding. Is this your first ticket?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you wish to accept responsibility, I would withhold the points today. $353 due in 90 days, or we can set it for a hearing with the officer.
That's okay. I'll take the 352.
Okay, tell me your name and date of birth.
Tania Jones, 31604.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
You have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. Deputy's going to give you a pay slip, so you will have all that in writing.
Thank you.
Tyjon Lee. Mr. Lee, no, I should have him as an inmate, but I don't know why he'd be an inmate for that. Okay. Must be more other things. Algim Mirador? Algim? No? Adam Moshire? Good morning. Oh, so you're with us for an open container ticket. Do you have another charge?
Driving on a suspended. I didn't know my license was suspended.
Okay. Did you already pay that ticket?
No, I was told to come to court. I'll go pay right now.
Well, do you show another? Hold on one second, because I only have the one.
All right, I just went to court for the other one.
Suspended, but it's set for March 17th.
What's that case number, Angie?
It's 25 CT 213,
Okay. And it's set for when?
March 17th.
So that case is not set until March 17th. The state is not going to be able to make you an offer today because they don't have that file. If it were me, I would continue this one and handle them both on the same day because sometimes that works out better.
Okay.
But if you wanted to handle the TR case today, I could do that. It's up to you.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
We'll move it all to the 17th.
Yeah, that's fine. Either
Okay.
way, to be honest.
So come back March 17th at 9 o'clock and we'll take care of all your stuff that day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Angela Nomura Maka. Good morning. Ms. Rodriguez, I think he wants to talk to you. Hi, you are also with us today for speeding. 353, well, is this your first ticket?
Yes.
Okay, I would withhold the points, 353 in 90 days, or happy to set it for a hearing and the officer has to come prove it was you who was speeding.
I'll take the first one.
Okay, tell me your name and date of birth.
Angela Namuramaka, 06/27/1990.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Ma'am, you have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. The deputy will hand you a pay slip, so you will have all that in writing.
Thank you.
Omar Nunez Guevara. Good morning. So you're also with us for speeding today. Is this your first speeding ticket? Okay. If you wish to accept responsibility, I'll withhold the points, $353 in 90 days.
Yeah,
Or we can set it for a hearing, your call.
I'll accept.
All right, tell me your name and date of birth.
Omar Nunez Guevara, June 25th, 2004.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you, okay, you've accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353. Deputy will give you a pay slip, so it's all in writing.
All right,
Thank you. Levi Pierce. Good morning. Mr. Pierce, you are with us today for speeding. Is this your first ticket?
It is, yes.
Okay. If you wish to accept responsibility today, I would withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. Or we can set it for a hearing and the officer has to come in and prove that it was you who was speeding.
I will accept.
Okay. Tell me your name and date of birth.
Levi Pierce, 4/21/91.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
So you have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. Deputy will give you a pay slip, so that's all in writing. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
TJ?
My boss wrote this for you. It's a letter of recognition or something. He wrote it. I just figured I'd give it to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Maddox, did you have a stack for me?
Yes, Your Honor, I can call a few cases. Ms. Maya Hamid. Your Honor, I believe the state has an announcement in this case.
So tell me her last name again?
Hamid,
Oh, the H.
Hameed. It's 24 CT 2343, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am.
In 24 CT 2343, the state will be announcing a no cross for the driving while license suspended or revoked. The defendant showed proof of a valid driver's license, and the state will take no action on failure to appear.
Okay. Ms. Hamid, all your stuff is dismissed. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Gematria Hendricks. Your Honor, based on the hectic nature of the situation, and I would just ask that you enter a plea of not guilty for Mr. Hendricks. If not, just pass him to the end.
We'll pass Mr. Hendricks till the end.
Thank you. Ryan Mosteries. Or Mosterfares, excuse me.
Good morning.
Your Honor, he's before the court on a DUI in 25 CT 182. Your Honor, I'd ask we enter a plea of not guilty and request next court date.
Sir, how do I say your last name? Mr. Mosterfares, I will see you back on March 17th at 9 a.m. Make sure you stay up with your attorney between now and then, okay?
Yes, sir. Lillian Munoz. Hey, Ms. Munoz.
For those of you still standing, I'm seeing seats, so if you want to grab one, feel free to sit down. Good morning, ma'am.
Your Honor, we have a pretrial diversion agreement offer from the state. Not quite ready to sign it today, but we'll enter a plea of not guilty for now with the anticipation that this will resolve the next court date.
All right. Ms. Munoz, I'll see you back on March 17th. If you enter that agreement before then, you won't have to worry about that court date. Thank you.
And that's all I have for now that I know I could quickly get up here.
Mr. David, anybody you want to call?
Yes, Your Honor. I've resolved Mr. Stephen Sherman's case with a DPA. If you'd like me to wait to file that, I could, or I could approach, Your Honor.
Go ahead and approach right now.
Mr. Stephen Sherman.
Did you approach, or is it both?
It did.
Okay. Which case is it?
This is for the driving while license suspended, Your Honor. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on both counts and request the next court date.
Okay. March
Stephen
7th,
Sherman.
March 17th for Mr. Sherman. So close.
Next is Mr. John Partlow, Your Honor. I'd asked to orally waive his appearance. He was receiving dialysis treatment yesterday. We would enter a plea of not guilty today and request the next court date.
Did something go wrong with the dialysis?
No, Your Honor. He was unable to make it to court today on account of him receiving dialysis treatment yesterday. He asked me if he needed to come. I told him I'd be happy to stand in and represent his case before the court today.
Okay, I've just had people come straight from dialysis and be able to appear in court, so I'll
Well, that's on me,
continue.
Your Honor. I'm the one that advised him. He
I
didn't
know,
need to be here.
and that's why I'm saying it, I'm just saying. It'll go to 317 today.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next, I have Mr. Justin Rushing, present and approaching. Mr. Rushing will just be entering a plea of not guilty, Your Honor, requesting the next court date.
Okay, this is on your resisting charge, Mr. Rushing, so I'll see you back on March 17th, okay?
Thank you. Yes, sir. I've got Miss Alexis Thrasher, Your Honor, who should be present and approaching. Ms. Thrasher will similarly just enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. All right, so you're entering a plea of not guilty today. I'll see you back on March 17th. Make sure you stay up with your attorney, okay?
You got a card, right? Your Honor, lastly, I have Mr. Chad Seeger. Mr. Seeger is present and approaching. Mr. Seeger will be entering a plea of not guilty and requesting the next court date.
Good morning, sir. So I'll see you back on March 17th. All right,
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have for a quick resolution.
thank you. Ms. Schwann, did I say it right?
Mr. Colin Page?
Last name is Page?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Page would like to enter a plea of not guilty.
Okay, Helen Page, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All
The
right.
state has a DPA for Mr. Page. Or did you sign
Yeah,
it?
he would just like a little more time.
Okay, sure. So 317, Mr. Page, review that DPA if you decide you want it and you sign up for your attorney. You don't need to come back, but just,
Yeah,
You know.
he talked to me.
okay, sweet.
I just
Thank
want to make
you.
sure I have enough time, because this is a lot more than I,
No, I got you, Mr.
it should
Page.
have never happened, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll stay in contact with you. All right.
All right. We almost got all the standings, is it? Bailey Allen? Mario Allen will be next. Hi, Miss Allen. Yeah, of course. Hey, are you mom?
I am.
Hey. Miss Allen, you're with us today for leaving the scene of an accident. The state's gonna make you an offer. You don't have to take it, but if you want to, you can. And like I said, if you need more time to talk to an attorney, I can pass your case for that, okay? To the state?
The state has a DPA.
Oh, you have a DPA on that?
Yeah.
Did you decide you want to do that, Miss Allen?
Yes.
Okay, so have you signed it and taken a picture?
No, not yet.
Let's do that, and then you can hand it to the deputy, and you'll be good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mario Allen?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
If I may have just a second to review the state's
You may, but
offer, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Allen, I just want, you have two cases with us today. Do I need to appoint you on the other one, Mr.
Yes,
Reed?
Your Honor,
Okay.
please.
I will appoint the public defender in case number 25CT61.
Considering that, Your Honor, we'll take a plea of not guilty today, and maybe we can get a global offer.
Okay. Mr. Allen, Judge, well, some judge, we'll see you March 3rd. Thank you. Thank you. Mateo Inavisca.
She signed a DPA, Your Honor.
Thank you. Adlin Anderson. Adlin Anderson.
He also signed a DPA, Your Honor.
DeFoster Anderson.
Same thing, Your Honor.
Justin Asher.
The state will be announcing a no cross. He showed proof of a valid driver's license.
Okay. Alexander Agueta. Buenos dias. Before we start, ma'am, to our interpreter, un momento. Do you swear or affirm your translation today from English to Spanish and Spanish to English will be true and correct to the best of your abilities? Thank you.
Your Honor, we'd like to hear the state's offers in this case.
An adjudication of guilt, a $500 fine, a $476.73 in court costs, 11 months and 29 days on probation, 50 hours community service, 6 months driver's license suspended, DUI school, victim impact panel, and 10-day vehicle impound.
Your Honor, my client will plead not guilty.
Okay. So your next court date will be March 3rd at 9 a.m., okay?
And he must call my office to make an appointment with an English-speaking person.
Lorena, there should be a form right there that you can write in, if she already has one.
What is her card?
Jonathan Avila Membrano. I'll call Mary Autry next. Buenos dias, señor. You're with us today for operating a vehicle without a license. The state's going to make you an offer to the state.
This is a DPA, Your Honor.
Is he going to accept the DPA? Oh, are you going to talk to him first?
Yeah, he hasn't read it, so I'm going to explain it to him.
I got you. Perfect. Ms. Autry? Ma'am?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was talking to Ms. Autry?
Sorry. Hi, sorry.
Hi, no. You're with us today on your DUI charge
Yes, ma'am.
to the state.
Your Honor, we'd like to hear what the state's offer is.
An adjudication of guilt, a $1,000 fine, $501.73 in court costs, 11 months and 29 days on probation, 50 hours community service, 6 months driver's license suspended, DUI school, victim impact panel, 10-day vehicle impound, and 6-month interlock.
Your Honor, my client will plead no contest and accept the state's offer.
Oh, okay. Were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
You can put your hand down. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Mary Autry, 12/07/1990.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you were guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney?
Yes.
Okay. I'll accept your plea as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and place you on probation for 11 months and 29 days.
Okay.
During that time, you must complete DUI school, 1 session of the Victim Impact Panel, and 50 hours community service. DUI school requires usually treatment after, so I need you to sign up for that in the first 60 days of probation to make sure you have time to get it all done.
Okay.
Okay? Your license will be suspended for 6 months, your vehicle impounded for 10 days, and they'll put an interlock device on your car for a period of 6 months? Isn't it a year? No interlock?
Interlock should be a 6-month interlock.
6-month interlock. Okay, that's what I think. There's a $1,000 fine, $501.73 in court costs, and a $100 cost of defense. The deputy will need to take your prints, and then he'll give you a QR code for probation. I need you to scan that and get up with them in the next 24 hours so you can get started.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Jordan Babb. Ma'am, right there. Good morning. Good morning. So we are here on your refusal, right?
Is there a DUI that's going along with this case, or is it just a refusal? There is. Is it coming down later?
We only, my docket only reflects a refusal.
Mine as well.
Yes, Your Honor, there should be a DP or a DUI, but we have to file an amended information for that as the citation was entered into the system incorrectly.
Yes, that is.
So we will be filing there should be a DUI charge on this, and we have an offer reflecting the DUI.
Okay, well, let's hear the offer and then we can continue the case for them to get that.
An adjudication of guilt, $1,000 fine, $501.73 in court costs, 11 months and 29 days on probation, 50 hours community service, 5 years driver's license suspended, multi-offender DUI school, victim impact panel, 30-day impound, 1-year interlock, 10 days in Okaloosa County Jail, scram, and restitution reserved for 90 days.
Scram for how long? The term of probation?
Make sure your cell phones are silent.
If the next phone that goes off, I'm gonna take it. Please don't make me do that.
Por favor, apaguen su celular porque tienen orden administrativa de que se los puede quitar.
How much was the jail time? 30?
10 days, Your
10
Honor.
days, thank you.
Scram for the term of probation, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Tringus? All right. Ms. Babb, they'll see you back on March 3rd, okay? Yes, 9 a.m., sorry. Ashley Bernhardt?
She signed a DPA, Your Honor.
David Bluebird? Good morning. Sir, you're with us today on your resisting charge. Does the state have an offer?
It does, Your Honor. I have it in my.
Oh, you already have it.
I'm going to go over it 1 second with my client.
Okay. Can you figure out whose phone that was, please? One minute. If your phone just went off, please hand it to the deputy. I'm not going to continue court until... Okay, well, hand it to the deputy and you can have it back after court. Does anybody else need a minute?
¿Alguien necesita otro momento? ¿No saben apagar su celular? ¿Necesitan ayuda para apagarlo?
Ms. Trinkus?
Yes, Your Honor, I have reviewed the state's offer with my client. The state's offer is a withhold of adjudication, court costs in the amount of $200, and we would ask for a $100 cost of defense.
Court cost should be $270.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did that change anything? Okay. And, Your Honor, my client will plead no contest and accept the state's offer.
Okay. Sir, were you here when I placed everyone under oath?
Yes.
All right, tell me your name and date of birth.
David Bluebird, 05/02/1993.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up those rights that were previously announced by the court?
Yes.
Sir, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay $270 in court costs and $100 cost of defense. The deputy will give you a pay slip, so it's all in writing. Thank you. Brennan Bovender,
Entered into a DPA, Your Honor.
Corey Bradford, Colby Brookins will be next. Hi. Mr. Bradford, you're with us today for driving on a suspended license. Did I
Yes.
see a DPA in your hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wish to accept that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead and sign it and take a picture, and then you'll be free to go. And hand it to the deputy. Sorry, TJ. Can you get that from? Or the state, either way, it's fine. Corey, did you take a picture?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sweet. Colby Brookins. Elise Buttles. Good morning. Ma'am, you're with us today for speeding more than 30 over. Sorry, I missed you earlier. The fine is $353. Is this your first ticket?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so would have to adjudicate you. It puts 4 points on your license, but I would give you 90 days to pay.
Okay.
Would you like to accept that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, tell me your name and date of birth.
Elise Buttles, September 9th, 2006.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, you have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $353 in costs. The deputy will give you a pay slip, so it's all in writing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Raheem Burrows. Mr. Burrows. Eduardo Kanaka Zuniga. Buenos dias, señor. Buenos dias. Sir, you're with us today for operating a vehicle without a license. To the state.
The state of the DPA, Your Honor.
Eusebio Cardenas Rodriguez. Hola. To this, sir, you are with us today for operating a vehicle without a license. To the state.
An adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days.
Would you like to accept? Yes. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Eusebio Cárdenas,
5 de marzo del 80.
March 5th, 1980.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you were guilty?
Yes.
And if for any reason you are in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation?
Okay.
I will accept your plea as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $300 in cost, and if eligible, show proof of a good license to the clerk. The deputy will need to take your prints, and he'll give you a pay slip, so that's all in writing.
Okay.
Okay? Gracias. Rome Carrillo? Rome Carrillo? Edwin Castellanos Vasquez?
Castellano Vázquez Edwin.
Mario? Edwin had a DP? Okay. Mario Castillo Garcia? Buenos dias, señor. Buenos dias. So you're with us today for driving on a suspended license. To the state.
To confirm, this is Mr. Castillo.
Mario Castillo Garcia.
Adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days, and 10 days in Okaloosa County Jail.
Is this his third? It's his fourth. Fourth. We have one moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client will plead not guilty.
Okay, so your next court date will be March 3rd. Paige Chaffins? Hi, Mr. Carrillo. Rommel, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you're with us today for a minor in possession.
Yes, ma'am.
Does the state, it looks like, have a DPA?
Yes, Your Honor.
You heard me talk earlier about a deferred prosecution agreement.
No, ma'am, I was not here.
All right, so a deferred prosecution agreement is an agreement between you and the state. If you successfully complete whatever they're asking you to do, they drop the charge against you. If you wish, have a seat behind the state and you can review that. If you decide you want to do that, you can sign it, take a picture, because that'll be your record, and then return it to the state.
Will it be a fine?
Probably, I don't know. But listen, Rom, if you decide you don't want to do that, just like make eye contact with me and I'll call you back up, we'll do something different, okay? All right. Ms. Chaffins? Is it Chaffins or Chaffins? Chaffins, okay. With Ms. Tringus?
Your Honor, we'd like to hear what the state's offer is today.
A withhold of adjudication, $622 in court costs, 11 months and 29 days on probation, batterers intervention program, and no contact with the victim.
Your Honor, my client will plead not guilty and ask for the next court date.
All right, Ms. Chaffins. The court will see you back on March 3rd, okay? Thank you. Benjamin Chavaria Vasquez? Buenos dias, señor. So you're with us today for operating a vehicle without a license to the state.
An adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days. And this would be a second.
Do you wish to accept?
Yes.
Now you need to know that if you get another of these, it is mandatory jail time. So, work on getting your license, or maybe call an Uber. Okay. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Benjamin José Chavarría Vázquez. Fecha de nacimiento. 19th of December, 2003.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand by entering this plea you give up your right to a trial?
Yes.
And if for any reason you are in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation.
Okay.
Okay? I'll accept your plea as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $300 in cost. And if eligible, show proof of a good license to the clerk. The deputy will need to take your prints, and then he'll give you a piece of paper so it's all in writing. Gracias. William Cisneros Perez. Buenos dias, señor.
Good morning, ma'am.
Buenos.
Your Honor, Mr. Cisneros Perez also has another case, Your Honor, 25 CT 225.
Yep, they're both on the docket.
Okay, may we get appointed on that case today too?
Yep, I will appoint the public defender in 25 CT 225.
And we'll plead not guilty today, Your Honor.
Okay. So your next court date will be March 3rd at 9 a.m., okay?
Make sure you make it.
Tyler Culpepper? Hi. So you're with us today for leaving the scene of an accident to the state?
A withhold of adjudication and $303 in court costs.
Okay,
$303.
and I give you 90 days to pay it. You want to do that? Were you here earlier when I put everyone under oath?
Yes,
Okay, please tell me your name and date of birth.
Tyler Culpepper. December 6th, 2000.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication? Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court? Mr. Culpepper, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay $303 in cost. Deputy will give you a pay slip, so it's all in order. Thank you. Ashanta Cooper.
She entered into a DPA, Your Honor.
Okay. James Dowsett. James, did I say that right? Close enough. Good morning. So you're with us today on your resisting charge. Would you like to hear the state's offer? Nope. Okay.
We would like to hear the state's offer, Your Honor.
Okay.
A withhold of adjudication and $270 in court costs.
Your Honor, my client will plead not guilty.
All right. Sir, the court will see you back on March 3rd, okay?
March 3rd?
Yes, sir, at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Thank you. Jesse Dees. Jesse Dees. Josue Del Cid Perez. Buenos dias. So you're with us today for operating a vehicle without a license? Is it a DPA?
Yes, Your Honor.
It looks like the state is offering you a deferred agreement. If you'll have a seat on the front row, the interpreter will go over that with you, okay? Marquez Demons, or Demons? Good morning. So you're with us today for driving on a suspended license. Ms. Tringus?
Your Honor, we'd like to hear what the state's offer is in this case.
Adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days, and 10 days in Okaloosa County Jail.
Your Honor, my client will plead not guilty.
All right. The court will see you back March 3rd.
Thank you.
Thank you. Julia Elver Alaman. Good morning, ma'am. So you're with us today on your driving without a license charge. I'm going to have the state announce your offer out loud, okay?
A withhold of adjudication, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license within 90 days. And this will be your second.
Your Honor, she does require an interpreter.
Oh, español señora. Okay, un momento. Sorry, Lorraine, I didn't realize. So she's charged with driving without a license. The state's offer is a withhold of adjudication. Pay $300 in cost and show proof of a good license if you are eligible, and you will have 90 days to do all those things. Okay, I'm sorry, there's also a $100 cost of defense. Okay? Okay. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Put your hand up. Tell me your name and date of birth.
Julia Gisela Elvira Alemán. 26th of June, 1994.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial,
I understand.
okay? And if for any reason you are in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation. I just want to make sure he's okay.
She's fine, Your Honor.
Okay. I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay $100 cost of defense, $300 in court costs, and if eligible, show proof of a good license to the clerk. Thank you. The deputy will need to take your print, Senora. William Fernandez Rodriguez. Lo siento, señor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You're charged with driving without a license.
Okay.
I believe the offer from the state is a DPA. Okay, have a seat, and the interpreter will review that for you. I'm gonna try to skip certain names. Shafan Fitz. Good morning. Happens to me all the time. Okay.
Your Honor, we'd like to hear the state's offers in this case.
An adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days, and 10 days in Okaloosa County Jail.
Did you say 10 days in Okaloosa County Jail?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to plead not guilty today and ask for the next court date.
Your next court date will be March 3rd, sir, okay? Thank you. Brandon Gary. Good morning. Hi, are you mom? Yes. Good morning. All right, Brandon, you were with, or Braden, I'm sorry. You were with us today for driving on a suspended license. Have you been able to get a good one?
No, ma'am, I'm working on it right now.
Okay. Does the state have an offer?
The state gave a DPA to the defendant. I don't know if you signed it though. I just did. Okay.
Do they need her somewhere else?
I did not.
Do they need her somewhere?
I'd like to have a chance to review that.
Sure. Why don't the three of you go chat for a second, and then let me know what's what. Zoe Grotto. Hi. Ms. Grotto, you are with us today for permitting an unauthorized person to drive. Were you the unauthorized person? Or did you let someone else drive?
I let someone else.
Okay. State's gonna make you an offer. You don't have to accept it, but if you want to, I can take your plea. If you need some more time, I'm happy to pass it for you to talk to an attorney, okay?
I'll
Okay.
take this.
Well, you gotta hear what they say first.
I believe the defendant entered into a DPA with us. Yeah.
Oh, did you already sign it? Okay. Have you taken a picture for yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're good to go. Thank you, Zoe. Barong Hall. Good morning, Ms. Hall. Ma'am, you're with us today for an insurance violation?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get good insurance yet?
Yes, I got insurance, I got everything already done.
Okay. Have you shown it to the state? Can you show it to this young lady right here? Am I killing you? Sorry. Oh, you're not? Okay. I said you killed me and you're like, yeah.
Your Honor, the
There you
state
are,
will
Kelly.
enter into a DPA, will offer a DPA.
Okay. So ma'am, they're gonna offer you an agreement that if you successfully complete, they will dismiss the charge. Does that sound good? Right, but the charge is actually a criminal case, so there's more to it than just getting it fixed. So if you will have a seat in the front row, they'll talk to you about what they're offering.
After defense stage.
Okay, thank you. Do you name me Mr. Dibby? Okay. Ms. Tringus, did you want me to call that case back?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Braden, Gary?
Your Honor, Mr. Gary will be pleading not guilty today.
Okay. All right, so your next court date is going to be March 3rd. We'll see you back at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Scott Harville?
Scott Harville? We pass him to the end.
Yep. Paul Hayes? Paul Hayes? Okay. Matthew Henry?
Just for the record for Mr. Hayes, Your Honor, I'm currently his attorney of record listed, but we did file a motion to withdraw. I believe that's been granted. So
Okay.
he'll have a regional conflict counsel. He may have a written plea of not guilty filed. I'm not sure.
All right, we'll talk about that at the end.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Henry? Good morning.
Sorry about that.
I just want to make sure you're okay.
Oh,
Good?
yeah. Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
All right. So you're with us today for driving on a suspended license
Yes, Your Honor.
to the state.
A withhold of adjudication, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days.
You want to do that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Tell me your name and date of birth.
Matthew Henry, September 3rd, 1989.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll accept your plea as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay $303 in costs, and if eligible, show proof of a good license to the clerk. The deputy has to take your fingerprints, and then he'll give you a piece of paper, so all that's in.
All right, thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. Anchala Hicks? Ms. Hicks? Ms. Hicks will be followed by Octavia Hoffman.
DPA, Your Honor, for Ms. Hoffman.
Thank you. Good morning. Ma'am, you're with us today for driving on a suspended license to the state.
An adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days.
Would you like to accept that?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Angela Hicks, June 16, 1958.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $300 in cost, and if eligible, show proof of a good license to the clerk. The deputy will need to take your fingerprints, and then he'll give you a piece of paper so you'll have all that in writing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tyler Holmes.
He entered into a DPA, Your Honor.
Misty Howes.
Inmate, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you. Romaine Humes. Good morning. Hi. How are you, sir? Nice. I like that shirt.
The state has a DPA, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mr. Humes are offering you that deferred agreement. Take a second and talk to your attorney about that. If you want to do it, great. You can give it back to us. If not, just make eye contact. I'll call you back.
He's going to enter it, Your Honor. If he has any questions, I'll be happy to answer, but I talked to him about it.
Thank you, sir. Deborah Jennings. Hi. Ms. Jennings, you're with us today for permitting an unauthorized person to drive to the state.
An adjudication of guilt and $270 in court costs.
Would you like to accept?
Yeah.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Deborah Jennings, 10/26/1959.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up those rights that were previously announced by the court?
Yes.
And were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath?
Yes.
All right. Ma'am, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $270 in cost. I'm sorry, it's $300 in cost, not $270 because it's the driving. Does that change anything for you? Okay. $300 in cost within 90 days. Deputy will give you a pay slip so it's all right. Sorry.
Thank you.
Megan Jennings? You're good. Oh, do you know?
That's my daughter. She thought her court date was at 1:30 today.
No, ma'am, everything is at 9 for arraignment. The ticket may have said something different, but I will continue her case. Would it be better for her to come next Tuesday or on March 3rd?
March 3rd.
Okay, I'll continue Megan's case until March 3rd. Just make sure she comes back to court that day, okay? Thank you. Andrea Jimenez Padarroyo. Robert Johnson. Andrew Jones. I'm sorry, Aaron Jones. Hey.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. I'm guessing that's good insurance and registration, or registration and motorcycle endorsement?
Yeah, I have the registration. The motorcycle was totaled. I got hit and, so I don't have it anymore, so I'm not gonna go.
You're not getting a new one?
No, my wife doesn't think it's a good idea.
I agree with your wife. All right, can you show the state what you have, sir?
Yeah, the registration? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the title? There was an issue with the title, so that's why it took a little bit longer.
The state's offer will be a DPA, Your Honor.
All right, so you heard me talk about a DPA?
Correct.
Are you interested in that, Mr. Jones?
Sure, I haven't seen it yet, but I'll.
Right, have a seat behind them and go over it. If you wish to accept it, sign it, take a picture, give it back, and you're free to go. If not, just make eye contact and I'll call you back up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Christopher Kelly. Good morning. Mr. Kelly, you're with us today for obstructing the police while executing a search warrant and paraphernalia charge to the state.
An adjudication of guilt, $270 in court costs, and forfeit the paraphernalia.
You want to do that?
What was that?
Forfeit the paraphernalia. Whatever they took, they're not going to give it back.
So it's just court costs?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That means you want to accept?
Yes.
Were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Christopher Kelly, July 12th, 1993.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand by entering this plea you give up those rights that were previously announced by the court?
Yes, ma'am.
I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $270 in court costs, and of course you must forfeit that paraphernalia. The deputy will give you a pay slip so you have it all in writing. Thank you. Robert King. Did you show up, Robert? Nope. Tara King? Good morning. Ms. King, you're with us today for driving on a suspended license. Mr. Maddox is your attorney. Mr. Maddox.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. We hear the offer from the state in this case.
An adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days.
Your Honor, we've reached a resolution to this case. Ms. King will enter no contest plea in accordance with the terms announced by the state, and then there'll be a $100 cost of defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. King, were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath? Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Tara King, 7/1979.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand by entering this plea you give up those rights that were previously announced by the court? Yes.
To a trial, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay a $100 cost of defense, $300 in court costs, and if eligible, show proof of a good license to the clerk. The deputy is going to need to take your prints, Ms. King, and then he'll give you a pay slip so it's all in writing. Thank you.
Any more time to do? Could we do 120 days to pay, Your Honor?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Jacqueline Lubert? Did I say that right? Lubert.
It's hard to say. Nobody says it correct.
I want to put like a French accent with it. There.
I think it's German. I want to say.
Oh, all right. You are with us today, ma'am, for permitting an unauthorized person to drive to the state.
And withhold of adjudication and $300 in court costs.
And I give you 90 days to pay.
Yes.
Okay, so were you here earlier when I placed
Yes,
everyone?
ma'am.
All right. Tell me your name and date of birth.
Jacqueline Lubert, 01/12/89.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court?
Yes, ma'am.
I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay $300 in costs. The deputy is going to give you a pay slip, so it's all in writing. Thank you. Jose Maradiaga? No. Christine Marco? Tracy Martinez? Good morning. You're with us today for leaving the scene of an accident without giving enough information to the state.
An adjudication of guilt, $303 in court costs, and complete the basic driver's improvement course.
That's a 4-hour course. It's online. Costs about $45, and I would give you 90 days to do all that.
I just have a few questions, if I could speak it over with an attorney, please.
Sure, of course. Your next court date with me, Ms. Martinez, will be March 17th at 9 a.m. So I'll see you then.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you need the application for the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and give you that, fill it out, and turn it into the clerk at the end of the hall. They'll let you know if you qualify, and then it's up to you to make that appointment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ryan McPhee? Hi.
If I could have a brief moment, Your Honor. All All right, Your Honor, winter plea of not guilty today and request next court date.
All right, I'll see you back March 17th, 9 a.m. Howard McKenzie? Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor.
Sir, you are with us today for operating a vehicle without a license. Do you understand?
Your Honor.
Yes.
This was a case in 2022,
Yes. And you had a deferred prosecution agreement.
but I did submit the driver's license and the certificate for the 4-hour mandatory.
Okay. Did you pay the fine?
I did, Your Honor. I paid the fine plus the citation the very same day.
Okay. Let me see why you're here then. You should probably should have been here.
Okay, I think I wrote you a letter very recently to say that I was arrested twice in Santa Rosa
For this?
for failure to appear and for the same thing about driving without a valid license.
On this case you were? Like you were arrested for this case or a different case?
Well, it has to be for this one.
Okay. Not bad.
So there were 2 charges, I guess.
Let's
But
see.
Judge, if I may, this is my case. I saw that this case was dismissed at first appearances in like October of '24. And then for some reason, another capias was issued because he was given another court date, did not show up, but I believe that was issued in error because the case was dismissed at first appearances, is what it looked like to the state.
So I'm a bit confused, Your Honor. So.
I am too. Give me just 1 second. Oh, Mr. McKenzie, I remember you from first appearance now that you say it. So I think the issue was there was a failure to appear and it wasn't originally addressed. But you're absolutely right. At first appearance, we announced no action. And unfortunately, the clerk did not register that. So this case is dismissed. I am incredibly sorry that you
That's
are
all right.
here and that you got arrested. If there's any issue, the case is dismissed, and that cash bond will come back to you. I need you to go to the clerk's office,
All right.
make sure they have a good address so they can give you your money back.
But that cash bond was with Walton County.
It would get transferred over here, right, Angie?
Yes, but yes,
Wait.
yes.
Shows the depositor's name is Church
Plus I-
Rochester.
Yes, plus I paid a copy.
Okay, I just want to make sure they have a good address because that money
Yes.
will go back to whoever paid it.
Right.
All right. Well, it's good to see
So
you.
I'm
I mean, I think so. We've said it a couple times, so hopefully
right.
this will take.
All right, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. What a nice man. I feel like. Carlos Melendez Lopez. Carlos, did I say that? Lorena? Buenos días, señor. Hi. ¿Habla inglés or no?
No.
No, okay. All right. You are also with us for failing to comply with your deferred agreement. Have you been able to make that payment?
I did it like 4 days after.
Okay,
I have the proof of payment.
great. Are you showing that one?
It's showing 0.
On the 13th of January.
I'm sorry?
It's showing 0 for now.
Okay, does the state have an announcement?
The state will be no crossing 24 CT 2262 for the defendant's compliance with the DPA.
Okay, your case is dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel bad when I say the clerk, like it's not you, it's them. Just so you know. But you're like, I'm here as tribute. Josue Melendez Sanabria? Josue. Luis Montenegro Torrealba, Alba? Buenos dias. So you're with us today for operating a vehicle without a license. If you could keep your hands out of your pockets. So, to the state.
A withhold of adjudication, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days.
I'm about to obtain a permit, so I'll be able to get it.
Okay. Do you want to try to get it before you take the plea, or would you like to take your plea and be done?
¿Quiere tratar este caso de licencia antes de hacer su declaración o quiere tomar la declaración ahorita? I'll do it before my license, before the 90 days.
Take the plea today?
¿Quiere aceptar la declaración hoy o quiere más tiempo? Si usted se declara culpable. I'll take the plea.
Okay. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
¿Y su fecha de nacimiento?
Luis Montenegro, noviembre 4, 1980.
Luis Montenegro, November 4th, 1980.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you are guilty?
Yes.
And if for any reason you are in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation?
Okay.
Okay. I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay $300 in costs and show proof of a good license to the clerk. The deputy will need to take your prints. Thank you. Adrian Moore. Hey, Ms. Moore.
Hi.
Hi. So you're with us today also for driving on a suspended license. Have you been able to get a good one yet?
Yes, my license was never taken. I didn't know it was suspended.
Okay. Do you have it now? Can you show it to us? Have you guys seen it?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. DPA?
Yes.
Okay. Rachel Morales? Hi. So Ms. Morales, it looks like you're with us for disturbing the peace and a trespass. Did they offer you a DPA?
No. they
Okay, I just saw the paper in your hand.
Oh, this is for the public offender.
Okay, let's hear the state's offer and then we'll talk about the attorney, okay?
A withhold of adjudication, 6 months probation, $270, $270 in court costs, no trespassing at 421 Commons Drive, Unit 1306, Destin, Florida, no contact with Michael Gomes, and substance abuse and evaluation and any recommended treatments. And probation can early term once all terms are completed.
Okay. I'm gonna guess you don't want to take that.
No.
Okay, so fill out the application for the public defender, turn it into the clerk at the end of the hall. They will let you know if you qualify, and then Ms. Morales, I will see you back on March 17th.
Okay, thanks.
Henry Moreno Garcia.
Moreno Garcia.
Leslie Moulton. Good morning. Good. So you're with us for an improper registration. Did you get fixed? Sweet. You want to show that to the state?
State's offer will be a DPA, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Moulton, so they're offering you that deferred agreement. If you successfully complete it, they'll dismiss the charge. So have a seat in the front row, or as close to it as you can get, and we'll go from there. Is there anyone in that front row who's completed their DPA that can be free to go? Okay. Luis Mario Sanchez. Angela, nope, I already called you. Jessica Norwood.
Oh, DPA, Your Honor.
All right. Mariyuri Nunez Fuentes. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Ma'am, you're with us today for operating a vehicle without a license. To the States?
State's offer was a DPA, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, gracias.
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Luis Montenegro, he was just up here and is mentioning he has another court date for the 18th for the same, for no valid, and he was just wondering if he could address it. Or,
Montenegro?
yeah.
Let us look that case up.
It's 25 CT 276.
25 CT 276 to the state. Is that a case we can address today?
Should be, Your Honor. If he pleads to one, the state will no cross the other.
So he already pled to 25 CT 229?
So the state will no cross 25 CT 276.
Okay, so that second case has been dismissed. He doesn't have to worry about that court.
Si el segundo caso se desestima, si usted cumple con los requisitos del primero. Thank you.
Thank you. Reynaldo Octaviano Vivanero. Gerson Oliva Alvarenga. Calvin Ortiz Escalona. Henry Ortiz. Hola.
Were you offered a DPA? Okay. State's offer in this case to withhold, right, 300 court costs?
Henry Ortiz.
Henry Ortiz, it was a withholding court cost.
Okay. Your Honor, we'll plead not guilty and request next court date.
Okay. Mr. Ortiz, I'll see you back on March 17th. Bye. Lawrence Parker. Good morning, Mr. Parker. Is that a deferred prosecution agreement?
is, yes.
Okay. And you've accepted that?
Yes,
On your
and
license?
my
term?
license is done weight cleared, so do I need to do anything with that today, or?
Say it's already cleared?
Yes.
So the DMV may show it clear, but more often than not, you have to actively reinstate it. So
Oh,
might.
I done have.
You already did all
Yeah.
that. I think you should be good. You can pay the fine today if you want. That's up to you. So I wish you luck.
Thank you,
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Herman Phillips? Good morning, sir. Good. You're with us today for driving on a suspended license. What was the state's offer, Mr. Phillips?
It would be an adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, and show proof of valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days.
Now, I'm going through like a 10-year driving suspension, so I'm trying to make it. I was on the hardship program, but I went through a bunch of situations with my daughter's mom's passing, and then my other daughter's mom's going to jail, so I was left with 2 kids, and at the same time, made a bad decision and got kicked off the hardship program. But I was just wondering if there was a way that I could get a recommendation to maybe get back on the program so that I could, because I got 3 more years left on a 10-year suspension.
I gotcha. So I can't make that recommendation, but I can advise you that later this year, we're having a driver's license clinic, and the DMV and all the agencies who might have affected your license will be here. You can register for that and see if you can work something out at that, but it's not a recommendation the court can make today.
Okay.
Do you want
If
to,
you could give me the paperwork on it, or?
on the state's
What?
offer?
No, on the,
Oh, on the clinic? We're about to send out flyers, and you'll see it online on Eventbrite.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, the state's offer again, can you say?
It was
one
an
more time?
adjudication of guilt, so it would be a conviction. $300 in costs and show proof of a good license in 90 days. I can't give you legal advice,
Yeah.
but you need to know that if you get 3 or more charges for driving on a suspended license, it's mandatory jail time. It may not be a terrible idea to talk to an attorney who can give you legal advice.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So do you need the application for the public defender?
No,
Are you gonna
I'll take
hire
it out.
somebody? You already did it, all right, sweet. Turn that into the clerk at the end of the hall. They will talk to you, and let you know if you're eligible, and your next court date with me will be March 17th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Keith Rains? Keith Rains? Oscar Ramirez Ortiz? Jose Rangel? Andrea Rawls? I'm on R. I'm behind. I'm on R. Andrea Rawls? Hi. Ms. Rawls, you're with us today for a misrepresentation of insurance. Do you have good insurance at this time?
Yes.
Can you show this thing? Lorena, did I call? Was it Ron Hill?
And I had it before then, but I told
Yes,
him I had
I'll call
it
him
the
next.
same day, but I didn't know it wasn't showing up in the app. And he told me all I had to do was bring it to court that I did have it.
The state will no cross 25 CT 67. The defendant has shown proof of valid insurance.
Okay, your case is dismissed.
Do I get any paperwork? Okay.
Thank you. Jose Rangel? Hola. Buenos dias. So you're with us this morning for operating a vehicle without a license to the state? Yes, R-A-N-G-E-L, 103 on my docket. The one right before Ms. Rawls.
The state's offer will be a DPA at this time.
Gracias. William Reed with Mr. David? Or Miss Schwant? Mr. Reed? Are you Mr. Reed? No. Oh, sorry. Cruz Reyes? Jamir Reyna Guerrero? Ma'am?
What is it?
Jamir Reyna Guerrero?
Reina Guerrero, Jamir? I'm Jamir, but it's Rodriguez.
Almost there. Christina Rice? Alexis Richardson? I believe how many people are not coming to court. Luis Rincon Sanchez? Buenos días, señor. ¿Su nombre?
Oh, I think.
Luis Rincon Sanchez?
Yes.
See? Oh.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were speaking to me in
No, you
Spanish.
did.
All right. So you're with us for driving on a suspended license.
Yes.
Do you have a good license yet?
Yes.
Okay. Did you show it to the state?
I can right now.
Yes, please.
if I need to. So I got a question, you're probably not the right person to ask, but, so whenever I got the letter, it said.
Saying
the-
that it was suspended?
The 18, like, so what happened is I had changed my insurance.
Okay.
And it said to make sure it was paid. And then I misunderstood, or I don't know what happened, but it said the 18. So I went ahead and paid it on the 18. But
Oh.
for whatever reason, I think it said like the
Did it
18,
lapse?
like on the, like at 12, like pretty much the 17. So that's why it cost me for
Yeah.
me to do that.
Mr. Sanchez?
Mhm.
The state will no cross 24 CT 2608.
Okay. So your case is dismissed.
Okay.
But I will tell you, this is not legal advice, this is just what I've seen from up here. When you change insurances, if you wait until the day of,
Mhm.
it always lapses and they
Okay.
suspend. So I would just recommend doing the day before, because I cannot tell you how often I see that. So you just gotta be real careful with it.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Yusette Rodriguez Morales? Buenos dias, señor. You are with us today for operating a vehicle without a license to the state.
In adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days.
Would you like to accept that offer?
Separar si puedo, ¿puedo tramitar una licencia? Ok, no sé si con visa puedo hacer eso, por eso no me tomo. No sé si puedo tramitar una licencia con visa.
I'm not sure if I can get a license with a visa, that's why I don't have one.
I understand. So what I would announce is that if you are eligible for
Si
one,
es que es elegible.
you must have it. So you can find out in that 90 days what you need to do to obtain one if you are eligible. But if you don't have a license, you can't drive.
And this was his second, for the record.
The reason that she's saying this is your second is on your third, it is mandatory jail time. So, just so you know. Okay. Would you like to accept that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath? Please tell me your name and date of birth.
José Jamir Rodríguez Morales, 2nd July 90.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court? Yes? I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $300 in costs, and if eligible, show proof of a good license to the clerk. The deputy will need to take your prints, and you'll be free to go. Thank you.
Mr. Rincon Sanchez, he had an item that was confiscated earlier. May I give it back to him?
Oh, yes. Edith Saavedra Chavez. Buenos dias, señor. Ma'am, you're with us today for driving with an expired license to the state.
The state's offer is a DPA.
If you go, James Seiler. Deepak Sompelli. Good morning. Did you pay that DPA? TJ, can you show me? Or, Angie, can you look at, thanks. It's all paid up? To the state, he did pay off the DPA today. Do you have an announcement?
Sorry, Your Honor, what number was this?
122, Sompelli.
Based on the defendant's compliance with the DPA, the state will no cross 24 MM 3408.
Okay, your case is dismissed. Thank you. Christian Soria Ramirez. Danielle Stampone.
Morning, Your Honor. We'd like to hear the state's offer if possible.
The state has a DPA.
Okay. I'll go over that with my client and we'll enter it afterwards, okay?
Stampone. Hey, before the inmates, TJ, I want to take a quick recess, comfort break. Okay? Mark Taylor. Good morning. Mr. Taylor, you're with us today for operating a vehicle without a license to the state.
An adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, show proof of valid driver's license within 90 days or eligibility, and 10 days in Okaloosa County Jail.
What number is this?
Number 3, Your Honor.
Okay. So you heard us talking earlier, third or subsequent convictions for driving on a suspended license or operating a vehicle without a license is mandatory jail time by statute. Would you like some time to speak with an attorney about that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you need the application for the public defender?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Fill that out, turn it into the clerk at the end of the hall, and I will see you back on March 17th. The clerk tells you if you qualify, so once they tell you that, make sure you make your appointment with the PD, okay?
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Grant Thorpe. Good morning, sir. Mr. Thorpe, you're with us today for driving on a suspended license to the state.
State's offers a DPA.
So the DPA is that deferred agreement. If you successfully complete it, they will drop the charge against you. Would you like some time to go over that?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a seat on this front row behind them, Mr. Thorpe, and you're good to go. Jose Valarezo Sanchez. Juan Valdez Flores. Elder Villanueva Franco. Hola. Sir, you're with us today for operating a vehicle without a license to the state.
This was Mr. Elder, correct?
Elder, yeah. Villanueva Franco Elder.
Okay. An adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, and show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days.
this vehicle, I'm making payments on it, but I wasn't driving that vehicle. My brother was driving the vehicle.
Okay. Do you have a valid
¿Usted
license?
tiene una licencia válida?
I'm going to give you the application for the public defender so they can look into that. You need to fill it out and turn it into the clerk at the end of the hall. And then if you are eligible, make your appointment with the attorney, and I will see you back on March 17th.
I have a question. I have an immigration attorney. Is he able to help me with this case?
Maybe ask him that.
Puede
Different
ser.
attorneys have different specialties, so.
Pregúntele a él porque diferentes abogados tienen diferentes especialidades. Okay?
Okay, gracias. Nissa Warren? Peter Weaver? Good morning. Mr. Weaver, I'm good, how are you?
Good, good.
So you're with us today for speeding more than 30 over. Is this your first ticket?
Yes.
Okay. If you wish to accept responsibility today, I would withhold the points, give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. If it wasn't you, I'm happy to have a hearing via Zoom where the officer has to come in and prove if you were speeding and that it was you.
I'll just take the first option.
All right? Were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath?
Yes.
All right? Tell me your name and date of birth.
Peter Dance Weaver, July 7th, 1999.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
You have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will withhold the points and give you 90 days to pay $353 in cost. Deputy's going to give you a pay slip, so it's all in writing. Thanks, Mr. Weaver.
All right, have a good day.
You too. Donovan Webb? Hey, Mr. Webb. So you're with us today for soliciting without a license. Does the state have an offer?
Withhold adjudication and $270 in court costs.
Mr. Webb, would you like to accept that?
Sure.
Were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath?
No.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Ma'am.
Put your hand down. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Donovan Jason Webb, 21677.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial?
I understand.
Okay. And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation.
I understand.
I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold the adjudication and give you 90 days to pay $270 in costs to the clerk. The deputy will give you a pay slip, so it's all in writing.
Ma'am.
Derek Wilcox? Dorico Williams? Michael Williams? Good morning. Good. So you're with us today for a domestic violence battery charge. Does the state have an offer?
An adjudication of guilt, $622 in court costs, substance abuse and evaluation and any recommended treatment, batterers intervention program, 11 months and 29 days on probation, no contact with the victim.
Would you like that, or would you like some time to speak with an attorney?
I actually applied for one and was denied basically for, I listed an asset as like an old boat I have, which is unsellable. They said I could appeal.
You can. If you look at the bottom of that form, there should be something where you ask the judge to review it.
Like a different judge.
No, it'd be me.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't review it the first.
I have all the paperwork.
Okay, but you just have to check that part.
Okay. I got the old one,
you been able to get a job yet or no?
I'm actually a contract offshore worker, and
Oh.
I've been out of work it's slow right now, for 3
Yeah.
months, and Thursday I'm having surgery, and it's gonna be at least a 2-week recovery period, so I'm gonna be out of work for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks on top of that, so.
Okay,
So, my wife is also, she's a service industry, so she's slow too as well now, so.
so spring break is a-coming.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so I am gonna find that you are eligible for the public defender.
Can I speak to them today, discuss this today?
I'm gonna give you a court date of March 17th.
Okay.
But he's giving you a card now, go ahead and make your appointment. Angie, do you need this? All right, and then, Mr. Williams, I'm gonna give you back the other ones.
Okay.
I mean, I might shred it, to be honest with you. But, make that appointment, and we'll see you back March 17th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Vernell Williams? Sounds so weird. Good morning, ma'am.
Your Honor, we'd like to hear the state's offer if possible.
An adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, to show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days.
Your Honor, we'll enter a plea of not guilty, request next court date.
All right, Ms. Williams, I'll see you back on March 17th, okay? Thank you. Darren Woodward? Hi. Mr. Woodward, you're with us today for for failing to comply with the DPA on leaving the scene.
Right.
Have you been able to get that taken care of?
No.
Okay.
I couldn't do the driver improvement course, because apparently it says you have 30 days from the date of the infraction to do it.
What?
That's
So
what I
you
seen
went-
when I looked online.
Is that for basic driver improvement? Did you just Google Florida basic driver improvement?
Yes. Maybe I've read it wrong, but that's what I thought it said.
Okay, so is this the website you were on?
Doesn't look like the one I was on.
Okay, let's try this one, because this doesn't show me any, particular date. And it's on sale, so it's a good time. Is that the only thing you have left to do is the course?
No, I think I still have $200 to pay.
All right, so you really didn't do much.
Well, I paid the court cost. I think that was it.
No, I don't think you did that, because the $200 is the court cost. All right.
Then I didn't pay that. I
So
paid
I'm
my
gonna-
citation.
You shouldn't. All right. I'm gonna see you back on March 17th. So I'm gonna give you another month to get this done.
Okay.
This is the National Highway Safety Association class. I'm good with that one,
Okay.
but I just Googled Florida driver improvement course, and it was the second one that came up.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right, see you on the 17th.
Thank you, ma'am.
Paul Young? With Mr. David? Good morning, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, we'd like to hear the state's offer in this case.
An adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, to show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days. And this would be a second.
Your Honor, Mr. Young would like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay. Mr. Young, were you here earlier when I placed everyone under oath?
Yes.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Paul Young, 10/21/1970.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea that were previously announced by the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $300 in costs and show proof of a good license to the clerk. The deputy will take your prints, but I need you to understand, if you get a third charge, it's mandatory jail time. So let's get that license, okay?
Okay.
All right, if you will step to the deputy, he'll get you taken care of. Haley Yount. You're with us today for petty theft. Does the state have an offer?
A withhold of adjudication, $270 in court costs, restitution of $9.89 to Walmart, and no trespassing at the Walmart on 1300 John E. Sims Parkway, Knoxville.
So, Mr. DeVee, before y'all do anything, there is a warrant for you, Haley. It's a Crestview charge
For what?
of burglary.
For what? No. A burglary charge? Are you sure it's me? For what, though?
It's allegedly a burglary that occurred on January 22nd at a camper. So we do have to take you into custody at this time, and you'll have first appearance in the morning. But you don't want to do anything on this case because it could affect us.
I don't have one, no.
Haley, I'm sorry, but you got to go back with the deputies.
No.
So the next court date will be March 17th.
Thank you.
Oh my God, no.
Okay, that's all the names I have. If you think you have a case with me and I haven't called your name, please form a line right here. I put it right there. Hi, what's your name?
Good morning, Aljum Mirador.
Aljum is your last name?
My first name's Aljum
What's your last name?
Mirador, M-I-R.
M-I-R, all right. Like a whole bunch of people came from outside. Was there like a crew out there? Okay, Aljum, you were with us today for speeding more than 30 over. Is this your first ticket?
I think this will be my second.
This will be your second?
Yes.
Okay, so if you wish to accept responsibility today, I would have to adjudicate you guilty, so you'll get points on your license. But I would give you 90 days to pay the fine of $353. If, however, you want to have a hearing where the officer has to come in and prove that you were speeding, we do those via Zoom, and I would take you for an infraction here.
No, I'm just gonna accept it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you here when I put everyone under oath?
No, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, put your hand down. Tell me your name and date of birth.
Aljum Mirador, April 13, 2001.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
You have accepted responsibility for the civil infraction of speeding. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay the fine of $353. The deputy is going to give you a pay slip, so you'll have it all in writing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Give me just 1 second.
Next will be Scott Harville.
With an H, Mr. Harvard?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, with Mr. Maddox, Scott Harville.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
On the driving while license suspended charge.
I'm good, thanks.
If I could have a brief moment, Your Honor.
Yep.
Disable no cross 25 CT 168, due to defendant showing proof of a valid driver's license.
Okay, your case is dismissed.
Next is Messiah Warren.
Ms. Warren, you are with us today with Mr. David on the charges of driving on a suspended license and failing to appear on that charge. Okay? All right.
Yes, Your Honor, just a moment, I apologize. Your Honor, it'll be a DPA. If we could pass this case, I'd like to go over the contract with
Ms. Warren, go have a chat with him.
Next is Jumontre Hendricks.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Hendricks. He's here on a violation of probation before the court today, Your Honor. We just entered denial today.
Okay. You definitely want to do that. And then, Mr. Hendricks, this also violated your felony. The new charges violated your felony, so you do have a warrant for your arrest on the felony violation of probation. So they have, wait.
Yeah, no, he's already been given a warrant, Your Honor. I believe he was given.
Wait.
Yes, Your Honor.
You pled to a felony and were placed on misdemeanor probation. Is that right?
He's on felony probation.
Okay.
Hold on. Just let the judge, let me figure out what's going on.
Well, if y'all are supervising him, that tells me he pled to a misdemeanor there. But the case number is 23 CF 1260.
That's right.
Yes, Judge. His PO is Officer Gilbert, and he's on a felony probation for January 18, 2024 to January 17, 2026.
But what charge did he plead to?
I believe it's the weapon offense for 1260 and marijuana possessed for 1260.
Has he already been served that warrant though? So he's not here for the BOP, he's here for the new marijuana charge, just so you know.
Yeah, he's here for the marijuana charge. He has his warrant for
Okay.
Okay, so just for my own knowledge, Your Honor, does he have a warrant or not? Because I have.
Yes, he has a warrant.
Okay, I have the warrant. It was my understanding it was just a notice to appear. I don't know if they were asking for his arrest or not.
The warrant would suggest, but just give me a second. I need to find out what you're actually. Oh, crap. Hold on. Mm-hmm.
So I see on the warrant it has a recommendation.
Well, I can't,
I don't know if that's.
I got you. Oh, man, I can't read this. Oh. Okay. Here's the short answer. There is a warrant for his arrest.
Okay.
When you entered your plea, Mr. Hendricks, do you remember the charges you pled to?
You can answer that.
I don't remember pledging to no firearm. It was misdemeanor of marijuana.
Okay, because I'm looking at your plea agreement, and unfortunately, the way it's scanned, I can't read it. I think there's a little bit of confusion because you did plead to a felony case number, and it does look like you pled to 2 counts, but I just can't see what they are the way it's scanned in.
Yes,
So, here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna have to serve the warrant on you, but I'm gonna give you a $2,000 signature bond, which means you'll be able to sign out of here. You don't have to go up to Crestview. And then I'll see you back on March 17th on the new charge. No, March 3rd, sorry. March 3rd on the new charge. You're gonna have an arraignment on this VOP, so you're gonna have 2 court dates. But we'll work on trying to get them together. Does that make sense?
I'll explain it to you.
Yes, it's.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like you're reporting to Miss Gilbert up in Crestview, right?
In Crestview, no, ma'am.
Miss Gilbert is your probation officer.
I report to someone for walk.
Okay, but is it Miss Gilbert? Blonde hair?
I don't remember her name,
Okay.
but
That's right.
Listen, I'm just gonna give you some free advice though. The new charge while on probation for this charge is not a good look.
Yes, ma'am. I have my
All
notes.
right, well, it doesn't matter why you're on
We'll
probation.
talk to the state about that.
I'm just saying, because you don't get that signature bond twice.
Yes, and we appreciate the court's grace on the signature bond, Your Honor. Not to
I was just
not to beat a
afraid-
dead horse, but he has done everything on the probation. This is the only violation he's facing. Everything else is
I
done.
know, but it's like the
I
worst
know.
look.
I know, but we
I
appreciate the
could-
court's grace nonetheless, though,
I
Your
got
Honor.
you, I got you. But he says you're present for phone. Good luck. Tina. But he showed up, so we're gonna make sure. Do not touch it. Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Buenos dias, señor.
So Ms. Dubon Maldonado Reina,
Maldonado is the first last name?
Dubon,
With a D?
D-U-B-O-N.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
She has a citation with a computer printed date of 11/15/2022. She went to the, the police station to confirm the date. It's been written on here, 2/11/9, but she wasn't called.
All right, TJ, can I see it? All right. If I give you the citation number? AKPGPYE.
Who's set for the fourth? There's a KPS.
Say it again?
Set for the fourth and there's a KPS.
Okay, so we're gonna recall the KPS. So, don't freak out.
No te vayas a asustar.
Your court date was actually last week,
Tu corte era la semana pasada.
and the court issued a KPS or a warrant,
La corte puso una orden de arresto.
because you did not show
No
up.
estabas aquí.
However, I'm gonna recall that, so that warrant will go away.
Para que esa orden se resuelva.
But I do need to give you a new court date,
Pero te tengo que dar una corte nueva.
because we do not have your case here to handle
Porque
today.
no tenemos aquí todo la
La culpa fue del
información.
oficial porque a mí me puso el 11 de...
It was the officer's fault because
I totally agree,
no entiendo completamente.
which is why I'm recalling the
Por
warrant.
eso vamos a quitar esa orden. Y estamos en la corte nueva. Ok,
Don't worry. That's why I said don't freak out.
Por eso te dije que no te asustaras.
So I'm gonna give you a new court
Te voy a
date
dar una corte nueva
of February 25th.
el 25 de febrero
Are we, yes, February 25th at 9
a
a.m.
las 9 de la mañana.
Do you have a form you can write it on for her right there? TJ, will you give this back?
What was the case number?
I don't know.
I can give it to you because I
The clerk has it.
25 CT 222.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Do you want me to ask her to wait a few minutes? Or no?
Sorry?
Do you want me to ask her to wait a minute? Or no? If you will have a seat, we'll try to handle it today. Can you wait a few minutes?
Puede ser que encuentre tu casa y lo podemos dejar de
Have a seat. If not, it's okay, Priscilla, just so you know.
Similar circumstances, young man had it on the 3rd.
Okay, see, no? What's your name?
Mom.
Oscar.
Austin.
Oscar.
Oscar, what's your last name?
Buenaventura. It's Buenaventura.
Do you have the paperwork from the ticket?
So he doesn't have he didn't have a ticket He, missed his last court date. He sent a letter to the judge.
Okay.
He has the letter with him, and his case number with him as well.
Okay, let me look it up by the case. What's your case number?
So it's, 2024
Mhm.
CT 1901.
Are you mom?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Buenaventura, Oscar Buenaventura.
Your Honor, what was that case number again? I believe
It
this
is
my case.
24 CT 1901. Okay. It looks like this is failing to comply with the deferred prosecution agreement. It looks like you still owe $150. Have you been able to pay that?
So, when we came to drop off the letter, he was gonna pay. The lady out there told us that first come and speak to you or to whoever is here because he missed his court date.
Okay.
And then go ahead and pay.
Is that something you can take care of today?
Yes.
Okay. Angie, can you do a pay slip for me? I will recall the KPS. So I'm gonna give you a pay slip, so you can go down there with that piece of paper and get it paid today. And then come back, we'll wait for you, and then we'll handle your case today.
Okay.
Okay? We'll see you back in a few minutes.
Appreciate it.
All right, who else haven't I called? Sir?
He was using interpreter.
Your Honor, I think that gentleman, his brother wanted to have a conversation with the state attorney, was my understanding.
Oh, I got you. Okay. So the court is going to take a comfort break recess, just like 10 minutes. Did you need me before I do that, Lorraine?
No, just for him.
For him, okay. When I come back, we'll do the inmates as well as anybody that's left outstanding.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise, please. County Court's in a brief recess.
Okay.
Judge, do you want to address the inmates first, or would you like to address?
Let's address who's in the audience first.
Yes, Your Honor.
Remind me his name? So his name is, last name Villanueva Franco,
Okay,
elder.
yes.
Okay, so he's here on driving without a license.
Oh, yes, and he said it was his brother who was
His
driving.
brother is here. He did call his immigration attorney. He stepped outside and called his immigration attorney, who advised him to come back in and let you know that his brother is here and is willing to take responsibility.
Did they talk to the state? Villanueva Franco, number 133. So here's the thing. The court cannot dismiss criminal charges. They would have to speak with the state attorney's office if he's choosing to represent himself at this time, and then go from there. So the best thing to do is to come back on March 17th after he's had a chance to meet with the state.
Lo mejor que puede hacer, ahorita ya no puede asistir al caso hoy día. Lo mejor que le recomiendo es hablar con el abogado y regresar a la corte el 17 para que usted hable con el abogado.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, I have a victim for the Michael Williams case.
Michael Williams, okay. Is he an inmate? No. Oh, Mr. Williams, yeah. Stay right there, sir, stay right there. Yes. Or did you want me to put her under oath?
Please.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Put your hand down, tell me your name and date of birth.
Jennifer Higginbotham, 9/18/1980.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, and medication?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did the state have questions for Ms. Higginbotham?
I did. Ma'am, do you want the state to amend the order from no contact to no violent contact?
Yes, I would please like the state to amend the no contact to no violent contact.
On the bond conditions? Is that what you're
Yes,
asking?
Your Honor.
Okay. Is that your only question?
That was it, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, as a friend of the court, may I ask the alleged victim a question?
Sure.
Based off my conversations with her prior to court,
Hmm?
or her appearance here. Ma'am, is it your desire to pursue charges against your husband, the defendant in this case?
No.
Thank you. No further questions.
Okay. At the moment, the state has your input. That doesn't mean they have to or will drop charges, but now they know. What I'm gonna do today is amend the bond condition from no contact to no violent contact. So both of you are clear. For this court, that includes threatening texts, phone calls, emails, shady internet posts, like all of that to me is a form of violence. So everybody just be nice. And of course, physical violence. So, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
That condition of bond is amended. I still got to see you back March 17th.
Thank you,
Okay?
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Hi.
Your Honor, this is Miss Misty House before the court on a violation of probation from 21 MM 4649. Your Honor, we've reached a resolution.
Okay.
Your Honor, she's going to admit the violation with the following terms: be an adjudication of guilt, revoke and terminate the probation, 60 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for all time served, $50 violation of probation fee and $50 cost of prosecution, and then the $100 cost of defense, Your Honor. Waive the non-monetary requirements and send the monetary requirements to collections.
And the FTA?
No action, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that state's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Howes, as best you can, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
You can put your hand down. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Misty House, 11476.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication? Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you were guilty? Or a hearing. And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation. Okay? I'll accept your admission as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty, revoke and terminate your probation, waiving non-monetary requirements and sending monetary requirements to collections. You will be sentenced to 60 days in the county jail with credit for time served, and upon release, have 90 days to pay a $50 violation of probation fee, $50 cost of prosecution, and $100 cost of defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can we give her 120 days to pay, Your Honor?
Okay, 120 days.
Thank you.
But we can't do that in every case, though. So we've just done it a lot.
I know we've done a lot today, but cases have warranted it. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I understand now.
Before the next inmate, yes, sir?
Mr. Bonaventura?
Okay, so it looks like, here, I'm gonna let you do that. Looks like they have completed payment with the clerk's office on the DPA in 24 CT 1901.
24 CT.
1901. Is that right? 1901? Okay.
Yes.
The state will be no crossing 24 CT 1901 based on the defendant's compliance with the DPA.
Okay, your case is dismissed. Thank you.
Your Honor, Ashley Lester is out of custody. She's not in custody anymore.
Okay.
Is there an Ashley Lester here?
Ashley Lester's case resolved the other day,
Okay, disregard.
unless she's got another case that I'm not aware of, Your Honor.
Sabrina, you know?
This is a violation of probation on a battery for Ashley Lester.
Yeah, it's a case we
Yes.
resolved yesterday, global resolution with her trespass.
It was.
It played yesterday, okay. Who is this? Sabrina?
This is Miss Sabrina Tino, Your Honor.
Hi.
If I could just have one brief moment, real quick, Your Honor. Your Honor, Ms. Tino is ready for trial. She's filed a demand for speedy trial. The 50-day period runs on the 27th of this month.
Okay. So.
We would ask to be put on your next pretrial
Yep,
date.
226 with subpoenas,
Thank you, Your Honor.
and then we'll pick a jury March 3rd. Thank you. Mhm. Did you want to hear the offer, just in case? or
She
no?
didn't, Your Honor.
Okay, sounds good.
Jordan Destin?
Hey, Mr. Destin.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you? Okay.
Your Honor, we'd like to hear the state's offer in this case.
Yes.
In adjudication of guilt, $300 in court costs, show proof of a valid driver's license or eligibility within 90 days, 10 days in the Okaloosa County Jail, credit for time served, and forfeit paraphernalia.
No action on the FTA?
And no action on the FTA.
Your Honor, my client will plead no contest.
All right.
Accept the state's offer and ask for a cost of defense.
Mr. Destin, as best you can, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Jordan Ray Destin, 04/16/04.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you were guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
You sure? You can ask her any more questions. Okay, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to 10 days in the county jail with credit for time served. Upon release, you'll have 90 days to pay $300 in court cost, $100 cost of defense, forfeit the paraphernalia, that's not coming back, and then get a good license.
Yes,
Sound
ma'am.
good? All right, thank you, sir. You will have to have prints taken for the driving while license.
It's gonna be Timothy Land. Sir, Mr. Destin, right over here.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Timothy Land. He's before the court on a battery charge. If I could, Your Honor, and the state had no objection, I would just ask we pass his case for 1 week, so continue his arraignment for 1 week. The state was going to reach out to the victim and then advise me of their position after that.
Okay. Today is the 11th, so February 18th at 9 o'clock, Mr. Land.
Thank you, Your
you.
Honor.
Taiwan Lee.
Taiwan Lee.
Good morning, Mr. Lee. Let me ask you a question. What are you in jail for?
They said fleeing and eluding.
Okay. And did that arrest occur on December 22nd? Right before Christmas?
I have to look at this paper real quick.
Good, yeah. Do you know his felony case number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You don't know that case number off the top of your head? Don't worry about it. I have the clerk looking. So here's what's going on, Mr. Lee. You're in front of me on a speeding ticket that is related to that event. The speeding ticket should be tracking with the felony case because really they should be handled together.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I'm gonna do is move this ticket to the felony docket so that you can just handle everything all at once.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
It's set for February 13th, the case number is 24 CF 2903.
So this is gonna go to February 13th, so Thursday, and track with felony case number 24 CF 2903. So that way you only have to come see one.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon Lobello.
Your Honor, if I could have a brief moment with Mr. LaBelle. Your Honor, we've reached a resolution in this case.
Okay?
Your Honor, he's going to admit to the VOP with the following terms. Be an adjudication of guilt, probation will be revoked and terminated. He'll do 90 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for all time served. Monetary requirements, or actually this is a DUI, yes. So we'll D6, the outstanding traffic conditions. D6, the outstanding traffic conditions. $50 violation of probation fee, $50 cost of prosecution fee, and then $100 cost of defense, Your Honor.
And monetary to collections?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that state's agreement?
Your Honor, from our notes, it was 180 days for credit for time served.
Per Ms. Sharpless, I negotiated that if he took the plea today, 90 days will be awarded today and today only. I can call Ms. Sharpless, we can pass this case, I'll give her a call, we can pass it.
Yeah, let's do
in a
that.
couple minutes.
Sounds
No
good.
problem at all.
Mr.
And-
LaBella, I'll call you back at the end, okay?
In the event we're not able to resolve any objections, continuing this arraignment for 1 week? No. Okay. I'll give her a call. Yes. Mr. McKenzie? Okay.
Is this Joshua McKenzie?
Yes, Your Honor, this is Joshua McKenzie, he's before the court on a resisting charge, if I could have a brief moment.
Sure. Are you guys reaching out to Ms. Sharpless?
Yes.
That way, perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm texting her.
Mr. Maddox?
McKenzie.
McKenzie. Joshua McKenzie. Your Honor, Mr. Joshua McKenzie does have a VOP pending over in Walton County. He was served a warrant, and this charge obviously will affect that.
Okay.
Since it's new law violation, I've advised Mr. McKenzie of that. Against my advice, he'd like to take the state's offer today, so I'm going to allow him to do that. I just want to note that it is against my advice. It'll be a no contest plea, an adjudication of guilt, $270 in court costs, credit for time served, and $100 cost of defense, Your Honor.
Mr. McKenzie, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
My name is Joshua McKenzie. My date of birth is 1/31/95.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Josh, what are you on probation for in Walton?
I was on probation for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. I went to a program, the Haven House, which I left before I had completed, and it violated my probation. So there was really nothing that I could do. Like, the violation's gonna stick, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get over there and take care of it.
I understand. I just want to make sure you understand. You could be facing up to 5 years in prison. If you enter this plea, your attorney has advised you it's basically admitting that VOP. I'm not saying the court in Walton will give you 5 years, but they could.
Yes, ma'am.
And quite frankly, you're making it easier for them by doing this. If you really want to enter this plea, it's your call, and I will do that. I just want to be comfortable knowing that you know exactly what you're getting into by doing that.
Yes, ma'am.
And just for the court's knowledge, Your Honor, I've been tracking Mr. McKenzie's VOPs over in Walton. I don't see that there's an affidavit that's been filed, so I will reach out to probation over there. That's my main concern, mainly is I don't know exactly what he's facing or even what the recommendation is. If you can see something I can't.
I can't see Walton stuff.
So, I mean, I'm gonna track it, I'm gonna call them and see what's going on with that. I just don't know, I don't even know what the recommendation is or where he's starting. That's my main concern.
For sure. I mean, here's what I could do, is give this a quick turnaround and move it to February 17th.
Perfect.
Here, just so all the attorneys know, by the way, that on February 17th, I'm going to cover my docket and Judge Schlecter's judge trial docket simultaneously.
Okay.
So, sorry, TJ, but Mr. McKenzie, that'll give him time to talk to that attorney in Walton County. Again, this is your call. We can just make sure that you're making an educated, informed opinion or decision. But if you want Mr. Maddox to do that, I'm happy to give it a real quick turnaround so you can have that knowledge going in. Somebody making lunch? Like, do you smell somebody's lunch? Yes. Frito bake, maybe? I'm not either. It smells like Frito bake.
We'll take the court's offer, Your Honor, in terms of setting him for the 17th.
Perfect.
I will reach out to anybody I can to figure out what is going on with this, so that Mr. McKenzie's better informed, and, we'll have a decision for you by then, Your Honor.
See you in a couple of weeks, Josh.
Thank you.
Timothy McCune?
Hi. Mr. McCune, you're with us today for a paraphernalia charge. Is this the only case you have pending right now?
No, ma'am.
What else do you have going on?
I have illegal possession, destruction of evidence.
You got a lot going on. Did all that happen on the same day as this?
No, ma'am.
Is it a completely different charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Are those violations of probation or a new charge?
Just new charges.
Okay,
No
you're not on probation.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So today is only the paraphernalia. Does the state have an offer?
An adjudication of guilt, $270 in court costs, and forfeit the paraphernalia.
Okay, so this is just a conviction, court costs, and you're not getting the paraphernalia back. Do you want to do that?
How long will I have to pay it?
It'd be 90 days from your date of release.
90 days. release of the other charges to?
I can only do it
Yes.
from this, so it would be 90 days from today. The money would then go to collections, and then when you get out, you can pay it then, and you just have to pay a collection fee.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the state is fine with 120 days.
I don't think that's gonna make a difference.
Really?
Yeah. Would you like to accept that?
Yeah, the fine?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as best you can, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I
Yes.
swear.
Put your hand down, please tell me your name and date of birth.
Timothy Allen McEwen, 10/4/68.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you were guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. McEwen, I will accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $270 in court costs, and of course, you must forfeit the paraphernalia.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Bless you, Angie.
Mr. Perseus or Eric? Enriquez, Mr. Enriquez.
Molly Schwant appearing on behalf of Mr. Pericas.
Good morning, sir.
In case number 24MM4358, we've come to a resolution in this case. Mr. Pericas will plead no contest to the trespass charge, and this will be an adjudication on the trespass, $270 in court costs, and no trespass at the First United Methodist Church. That's in 103 First Street Southeast in Fort Walton Beach. And then on the court costs, could we have the option to do community service to pay that off?
Mm-hmm. Is that a state's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Pericas, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down, please tell me your name and date of birth.
Richard Fred Pericas, 3/24/64.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you were guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll accept your plea of no contest as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 120 days to pay $270 in court cost, a $100 cost of defense, and you may work that off with community service. And you also may not trespass back at the First United Methodist Church on First Street. The trespass order is good for a whole year, so you cannot go back there for a full year. Do you understand?
I can't go back to the church for the
For a year, correct.
Okay.
Right, thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor Pittman.
Who?
Skip Pippin for now. I showed him on my list, but he's not here.
I don't have
Dylan
it.
Riggins. He may have been removed.
He's not on my docket at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi,
Molly-
Mr. Riggins.
Molly Schwant appearing on behalf of Mr. Riggins. In case number 24MM4244, we've come to a resolution in this case. Mr. Riggins will plead no contest to the possession of paraphernalia charge, and the state is agreeing to dismiss the failure to appear. The terms will be an adjudication of guilt and pay $270 in court costs.
And a $100 cost of defense?
Yes.
All right. That state's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Riggins, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, put your hand down. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Dylan Regan's 4/11/98.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, you give up your right to a trial where the state would have to prove that you were guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I will accept your plea as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty and give you 90 days to pay $270 in court costs and $100 cost of defense. And they didn't say this, but you know you're not getting your paraphernalia back. That's got it. Okay, good. And then no action on the FTA. Good answer, Dylan.
Ricardo Samuels.
So Mr. Sampson is here on the VOP.
And we had him yesterday.
Yes, we spoke yesterday. So I do have copies of of Dr. McDonald's findings if you want to.
Redo that?
Yeah.
We have to do it in every
Okay,
case.
okay.
All right, hi, Mr. Sampson.
Hello.
Yes. So the court is accepting Defense Exhibit 1 and 24MM3575, which is Dr. McDonald's report. I believe she finds him incompetent to proceed. Anything from the state?
The state will null cross 24 and.
Wait. Let's do this first. Do you agree with the report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So the court is going to find the defendant incompetent to proceed in the violation of probation. As to the violation of probation, the court will dismiss the VOP and terminate the probation as defendant is unable to complete due to incompetence.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jeremy.
Look, Mr. Sampson.
Yeah.
There you go, Mike. Hi, Mr. Shirley.
How you doing?
Good. So you're with us today for resisting. The state's going to make you an offer. If you want to take that offer, you can. But if you want some more time to think about it, talk to an attorney, I'm happy to pass it
Okay.
for you to do that. Is this your only case that you're in jail for?
That's the only thing I got.
Okay. To the state?
The state actually does not have an offer at this time. We're still attempting to contact the victim.
Okay. So, Mr. Shirley, I'm going to give you a quick turnaround if that's all we're waiting for. So your next court date with me is going to be February 17th.
I'd like to get this thing done and over with.
I understand, but under the Florida Constitution martial law, we can't do anything without talking to the victim.
Everything was supposed to have been dropped, the injunction and all that stuff. It shouldn't even have any
But
injunction.
this isn't an injunction. This is a resisting.
Okay.
And so they have to talk to the officer first. I'm giving you a quick turnaround. So on
Okay.
February 17th, I'll see you back and we'll talk about it.
February 7th, okay.
Yeah, I got you. Just a
Alright.
couple weeks. Thank you.
Louis, Toledo, Johnson.
Who?
His case was, we pled not guilty yesterday, Your Honor.
The only one we should have left is Jason Turpin.
I'm sure it's just the jail list from yesterday, Your Honor.
I got you. Two dudes throwing things out there.
Your Honor, Mr. Turpin's prepared to enter into an admission to the VOP.
Okay?
Those terms are going to be an adjudication of guilt, $50 VOP fee, $50 cost of prosecution, a $100 cost of defense, 60 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for all time served. All non-monetary requirements will be waived, all remaining monetary requirements sent to collections, and his term of probation will be revoked and terminated, Your Honor.
Got it. Is that the state's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Jason David Turpin, 12/17/1979.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, I'm not.
Do you understand by entering this admission you give up your right to a hearing where the state would have to prove that you violated?
I do.
And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation?
Yes.
Have you had enough time to talk to your attorney?
I have.
Okay. I'll accept your admission as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty, revoke, and terminate your probation, waiving non-monetary requirements and sending monetary requirements to collections. You will be sentenced to 60 days in the county jail with credit for time served, and upon release have 90 days to pay a $50 violation of probation fee, $50 cost of prosecution, and $100 cost of defense. All right, thank you.
So we'll recall, LaBella.
Yes, LaBelle.
Yeah, I think that.
We're good?
Yeah.
Is the state good with the 90 days now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would the court prefer I just re-announce the offer and start from Joe?
I just got the state's confirmation.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. LaBello, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm your testimony is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please tell me your name. You can put your hand down. Name and date of birth.
Brandon Lovello, 5/22/1985.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Do you understand by entering this admission you give up your right to a hearing where the state would have to prove that you violated?
Yes.
And if for any reason you're in the country illegally, any plea could affect your immigration status to include deportation.
Yes.
I also want to make sure you understand that when I D6 your traffic requirements, that means your license will remain suspended until you complete those requirements. So you may be off probation, but you won't get a license back until you've done the DUI, school victim impact, all those conditions.
Do I still have to put the,
Here, ask me first.
sorry.
D does have an outstanding impound, Your Honor. I assume that's a traffic condition.
That is traffic condition, it's required by statute, and you would still have to do it.
So yes.
So basically, like I'm on probation.
Well, no, you're off of probation. It's just the DMVs.
You just won't go. People really hate that.
Okay, so with that clarified, Your Honor, he's still going to admit to the violation with the terms announced.
Okay. I'll accept your admission as freely and voluntarily entered. I will adjudicate you guilty, revoke and terminate your probation, D6ing any outstanding traffic requirements, and sending monetary requirements to collections. You will be sentenced to 90 days in the county jail with credit for time served, and upon release have 120 days to pay a $50 violation of probation fee, $50 cost of prosecution, and $100 cost of defense. All right, thanks, sir.
I appreciate it, Your Honor.
I just got ahead of Mr. All right, I think that is everybody, so I'll start at the top and issue some KPSs. Oh, do you have a bunch of DPAs for me?
Yes,
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call a name, and you either tell me DPA or say nothing, and then I'll do a KPS or a DPA. All right? So Jonathan Avila Membrano. Avila, A-V-I-L-A, Membrano.
DPA.
Okay, do you want a second to put those in alphabetical order?
That would be lovely.
Yeah,
We had a
I'm gonna
couple that
go in
ended up getting
alphabetical
them,
order,
so.
so that'll just make it faster.
Good job.
There's something.
And Your Honor, we did appreciate the court's patience with everything today, with how hectic everything was. So
No,
thank
I
you.
was gonna tell you that today went fantastic. I think today was a lot of makeup from the snow day. Our dockets will not usually be that big, Molly, so okay on that. But no, I thought it went great. I appreciate that, yeah.
Your Honor,
Yes.
would you like, this is my first time doing a arraignment with you. Would you like us to wait off on the DPAs, and then when you get here, we can read the list?
We'll talk about that in a minute too.
Okay.
Let's get the docket done.
Okay,
And then,
actually, better idea.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the way
'Cause
that
I have thoughts. I love a good efficient docket.
Okay.
So it's still gonna be smaller even with the inclusion of judicial.
We're not combining arraignment dockets.
Okay.
We're combining like judge, trial, miscellaneous. We're gonna get senior coverage for some days, but anything Ward and I can cover, we're gonna. But like when we cover judge, trial, and criminal together, or miscellaneous together, neither of those are big dockets. So. What, Angel?
I said I almost have them in order.
You're good, the state's doing the same. Oh, is this for me to sign?